Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Well, the big story, of course, was the Democratic National Convention held in Chicago, Illinois, the location of black-on-black crime out of control, Mayor Daley, then the second Mayor Daley, the Daley political corruption, the home of Barack Obama, Jeremiah Wright. I mean, it's just a joke. Lightfoot, remember Lightfoot? She was a great mayor, wasn't she? The platform of the Democratic National Convention, by the way, there isn't anything for Kamala Harris. I mean, it just goes to show you their entire campaign is flim-flam. The entire campaign's flim-flam. And I've got to hope that voters don't fall for it, at least not 50% plus one. Kamala Harris made a surprise appearance last night to welcome the guests. The place goes, by the way, the only people that are in that hall are the elite Democratic Party progressive operatives. Joe Biden, you can't make it up. He is the sitting president. He is who they did the coup against. Nancy Pelosi's admitted that. And what do? He goes on after prime time. The sitting president of the United States, he gets on there at about 11 o'clock. Can't make it up. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton comes up. Can you imagine how mad Hillary is that she's not going to be the first president? But she had to inject her mother and Kamala's mother, you know. And when I'm hearing her speak, I'm thinking to myself, this woman, all the corruption and crimes that she got away with. I mean, like the destruction of the phones, Trump, DOJ doesn't go after her. But, of course, look what happens to Trump. Trump was naive about her. Andy Beshear, Kentucky's governor, spoke, and he said something that was a complete lie. He used that young woman as a prop, and he talked about the state of Kentucky and the abortion issue. He misrepresented Trump's position. He said Trump was not rape, incest, life of the mother. That's not true. Trump does support those exceptions and has cautioned Republicans about not having those exceptions. AOC spoke. Boy, she let it rip. The place went wild. Just goes to show you how progressive they are. And when they talk about their past lives working, these people have been the worst for the working man and woman in this country. The very worst. Laura Ingraham said the reason why they had Kamala Harris on the bench all these years is because that's where she belonged. Protests broke out all across Chicago and outside the convention center, and businesses boarded things up. It's unbelievable. Trump gave a speech to some defense workers about the way he would reduce energy by increasing production. Supply and demand. He knows economics. And Trump's campaign in Pennsylvania, and he's not going to let the DNC have their little party without him making a statement. He's free to go to all the battleground states, and that's what he's doing. Smart move. Nancy Pelosi has admitted, now that it seems to be a success, has admitted, after denying it, her role in kicking Joe Biden. Chris Wallace, the liberal commentator for CNN, said they threw Joe Biden out the window. They sure did, didn't they, Chris? Comes out that Wallace has funded his state, $100,000 for defund the police organization. That's your vice president, folks. Sherrod Brown, apparently is beating Bernie Moreno in Ohio by 5 percentage points. Still early, though. We'll see what happens. Harris, you know what she's now claiming? She wants to increase the corporate rate back up to 25% for corporations. If you're a working man in America, what do you think that's going to do for you? Milwaukee Police Association has endorsed Trump. I mentioned cops everywhere are going to endorse Trump, right? It came out in the GOP report, $27 million is what they calculate the Biden family stole from the United States taxpayers and with all their crime and treason. And speaking of American job worries, Americans are increasingly worried about their jobs. And why shouldn't they? GM just laid off 1,000. The layoffs are coming, baby. They're coming. If you're one of those people who've been laid off, who the hell are you going to vote for? And I thought about this. This is kind of sad and funny. For the first time in our history, this is how bad it is. For the first time in our history, there's fast food inflation, and Americans can't afford the bottom line food source which is fast food. It's never happened before in our country. Fast food inflation. You're going to vote for Kamala and Biden? And by the way, I would guess that in his speech, Joe Biden probably did it on purpose. In Joe Biden's speech, you know what he said? He said, we were together, our team, everything else. In other words, Kamala was part of everything I did. And speaking of 4 years ago, those people that are being polled say their dollar went a lot further 4 years ago. And by the way, Kamala's economic policies increased the budget deficit $1.7 trillion. It's nuts, folks. It's nuts. Do not be a mangled, envious cullion. Be a bulldog. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. There was a shooting outside the Hardin County Courthouse. Christopher Elder, 46, in critical condition. Erica Riley, 37. Janet Riley, 76. And another in stable condition. Apparently, they were all in court earlier that day. Shootout in Elizabethtown. Edgewood carjacking. This is Edgewood High School. A woman claimed that she was held at gunpoint. A 20-year-old has been arrested. Gun store crash break-ins, 2 of them. They drove in, went out in Florence. They drove into the store, stole all the ammo and guns they could take, and escaped. Crazy. 2 river bodies were unidentified, a couple miles apart. They have to identify them. Pioneer Park, down here in Covington, where Steve Cunningham, the Hall of Famer, and I play tennis, are going to have pickleball courts now. I hope they leave us a tennis court, Steve. And at Cedar Point Amusement Park, a dad's been arrested. He left unattended a 2, 4, and an 8-year-old. That's pretty bad. And Art Schleister, the former Ohio State Buckeye and pro football player, was indicted on 5th-degree felony charge, drug possession. He's still gambling, too. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
You're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest world headlines. A fire broke out on a Ferris wheel at an Eastern German musical festival, leading to several injuries. 18 people were hospitalized, with 4 suffering burns and 1 person injured by a fall. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the blaze. A rocket engine exploded during a test at the New Shetland spaceport in the United Kingdom. The test, conducted by the German company Rocket Factor Augsburg, was part of preparation for what could be the UK's first vertical rocket launch. The incident occurred during a planned series of 9 engine trials. In other news, Morgan Stanley's international chairman Jonathan Bloomer and lawyer Chris Marvio are among 6 people who were missing after the luxury yacht sank off the coast of Sicily yesterday. UK tech mogul Mike Lynch and his daughter are also unaccounted for after the vessel went down during a storm about 700 meters from the island's shore. And the Israeli military has recovered bodies of 6 hostages from the Gaza Strip, including British Israel Nadel Popowell. The victims were found in Khan Yunis area, with 5 of them previously reported deceased. One of the hostages, Avran Munda, are being believed to be alive until the recovery. That's all I have for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Reds back on the winning track, 6-3 over the Blue Jays. Cincinnati Open, your winners and the men's, 3rd-seeded Jannik Sinner, and a woman, I think she was a 6th seed, Ariana Sabalenka. Hope I pronounced that right. And Malachi Marino from Great Crossing down in Georgetown, Kentucky, has committed. He was a sought-after player, has committed to the University of Kentucky. They got 3 in Kentucky, folks. He's going to help recruit Jasper, too, I believe. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. Johnny Wachter, the soap opera star that was shot and killed. His mom went on a crusade. God love her. 2 men have now been charged in his murder, both 18 years old. This is a wild story. A super yacht sunk off the coast of Sicily, and there's like 6 or 8 people missing, presumed dead, including the chairman of the board of Morgan and some other big companies. I mean, we're talking about filthy rich people. And you know what, folks? I have no desire to go out on a yacht in the middle of the ocean. I have zero desire. There was a blue supermoon Monday. Did you see it, Sabrina? You're always talking about the moons.
I've been photographing the moon every night.
It's beautiful. It was bright orange last night. This morning it was great white. All right, this is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.